Stay on with me as we'll require your inputs for this other story that we are tracking. Mexico's Senate has approved new tariffs of up to 50% on imports from Asian countries, including China and India, starting next year. The bill passed with 76 votes in favor, 5 against, and 35 abstentions. The tariff will affect over 1,400 products, including auto parts, textiles, plastics, clothing, and steel from countries without trade deals with Mexico. Now, most products will face duties of up to 35%. Senators said that the tariffs aim to boost Mexican products in global supply chains, protect jobs, and guide economic and trade policy. Analysts note that the move comes ahead of the next US-Mexico-Canada trade agreement review, while India seeks to enhance trade and hopes to avoid adverse impact from the tariffs. So, Aditya, obviously we saw US applying tariffs on India. Now we have Mexico also putting tariffs of up to 50% on imports from Asian countries, including China and India.
Well, absolutely, Shivani. Indeed, there could be some US pressure behind these tariffs because, as you had mentioned rightly, that there could be a trade framework between Mexico, Canada, and the United States, and not just India and China. Countries like South Korea, Indonesia are also some of the countries that will bear the brunt, that will face difficulties in business with Mexico, because these tariffs by Mexico will also apply to these countries as well. Particularly if we see China, India, Indonesia and South Korea. So indeed, there is a now growing this trade war. This global trade war is now, it's increasing its tentacles. It is now spreading to several more countries. Particularly this is with respect to all the countries. That are imposing tariffs are in very close to the are very geographically very close to the United States. Mexico shares a large border with the United States, and now even the Mexico has imposed tariffs on India. So these 50% tariffs indeed could be could demoralize the Indian businessmen who used to export their products to Mexico. So now Mexico has become the second country to impose such trade barriers, and it needs to be seen, whether what reaction will the international community give to this, and it needs to be seen that there are difficult times as far as the global trade, global businesses are concerned. Shivani.
Absolutely, Aditya. And when you look at this statement, Mexico has stated that they will not, put on tariffs on countries that have a trade deal with certain nations. So, are we going to look forward to India-Mexico trade as well? Because we have an impending US-Canada and Mexico trade agreement renewal, so to say, coming to the fore in the next coming months.
Well, absolutely. At this juncture, the situation is very, very complicated, whether these tariffs will affect India or not, because we have this trade agreement coming up between US, Canada and Mexico in the next successive month. So, this needs to be closely watched as to what extent Mexico, will it use its, will the Mexican government use its subjectivity to impose tariffs or not? This needs to be seen.
Absolutely,
on what particular
Aditya.
country.
In fact, I'll request you to stay on with us as we'll